Hi everyone, I'm Janet McGowan, and what's on my mind this week is a small handful of new options for the public catalogue, the public front end, the OPAC, however you describe it. So these are a few enhancements from 2405 and 2411. So any of those of you who are going to be upgrading with us this summer to 2411 will get these available to you following your upgrade. So I've just picked a few to look at. And the first one is a serials enhancement. So I'm just going to do a search for the serial that I'm interested in looking at. Photography, if I can spell it correctly. And when I pull up my serial record, for those of you who use serials to check in materials and receive issues into your libraries, most of you will have the default tab showing as the subscriptions tab, where you can see how many subscriptions they've got and which issues have been received most recently and so on. However, a lot of libraries retain a lot of information in notes fields, the 500s, any 5XX field, which by default on Koha will show in the title notes. So here we can see some broad information about the journal itself, but also information in a different mark tag, in a different 5XX, indicating where latest issues might be displayed, and also where bound serials might be retained in the library. So quite a lot of useful local information sits under title notes in your 5XXs. So this enhancement, which comes from bug number 19768, adds a new option to the system preference OPAC serial default tab. And so I'm just nipped over to the staff interface here in Koha administration under system preferences, and I'm going to look for my OPAC serial defaults tab. And this system preference set by default at the moment to show the subscription tab as a default tab for serials in the OPAC. However, we have a new option. So we have a new one called Title Notes tab. I can simply switch that to Title Notes, save my serial preferences. And now if I pop across to the OPAC and just refresh the page, my default tab now is title notes as opposed to subscriptions. So it will instantly give my end users information about any current issues, any bound issues that might be retained in a 5XX tag. So that's quite a nice one that you might want to switch on following your upgrade. Let's just pop across to the home page. And the second enhancement I wanted to point out is actually staring us in the face here on the home page. And it's this little piece of text here on the right hand side, search the catalogue by keyword. So this bug, which is 36651, adds a placeholder that allows your end users to see what the point of this search box is prior to carrying out a search. So the minute I start typing into this box, if I start typing a search term, the placeholder disappears. When I haven't written anything into the search box, you can see it displays. And previously, some libraries have asked us to use some jQuery to add in a placeholder like this, but this adds it as default as part of Koha, and it's very nice because it changes the font to italics on the right hand side and it makes it right aligned, so it's clearly obvious that there's a distinction between the text that you're going to be typing in and the default placeholder text. So that's just a really nice one to look forward to. Which brings me on to my last enhancement that I wanted to point out. So I'm going to do my search term, noting that the placeholder has disappeared. So I'm going to look for ethics in mental health as my search term and do carrying out that search on the system. It's going to bring up a couple of results here. And if I click through into the title, the enhancement that I'm going to point out applies to any title that you've got on the catalog. It adds a new option to the panel on the right hand side here, the panel of functionality that adds to your user experience. So what we have here is a title with various metadata about the bibliographic instance, so title, serial information, series information rather, contributors and so on. And this enhancement adds a cite option here on the right hand side, so it's distinct, it's different to the option that you'll have been familiar with under save record, that allows you to save a record in a RIS format that you can then subsequently bring into a bibliographic software such as RefWorks, EndNote, other bibliographic softwares are available, of course. But this cite is just clean and simple on the page. I click through into cite and I'm presented with 4 different citation styles. So we've got APA, we've got Chicago, we've got Harvard and MLA, and of course this pulls out information in the citation, in the approved citation format for these different citation options. So that was from bug 14670 if you want to read up about it, but it just means that you can easily just copy and paste, select and copy, and insert that into your dissertations, into your bibliographies, or into your bibliographic software systems, without having to go through send a record and so on. So that's a really nice feature. Again, you'll be getting that at 24.11. So again, when you're upgrading this summer to 24.11 with us, you'll be able to have a look at some of these new enhancements, switch on the serial, make a change to the OPAC serial default tab if you want to, and hopefully enjoy these small enhancements. So many thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.